Hi friends, thanks for joining us again as we look at Blackberry's birth. So Blackberry was born in our herd back in 2023, which makes her almost 2 years old. That was a look back at her first freshening udder, and the overall area of attachment is really good. So that's something that I like to see on my first fresheners. Blackberry was showing signs of going into labor for several days before she actually had her kids. The day of, I was waiting all throughout the day and the evening, and she still hadn't had them, so I went ahead and went to bed knowing that I would be waking up to check on her. I woke up a little bit after midnight, and when I checked the cameras, I saw Willow out there drying off these 2 little black and white babies, and it can be a lot of work trying to get them all dry and warm, especially when the winters here are pretty cold. So I headed out to the barn to help her, and of course, what we always do with our winter babies is I started blow drying them just to try to get them completely dry. These kids are from Blackberry, but their sire is Cuddles. We've already had a couple does that were bred to Cuddles have their kids already this year. The first was Chia, who had triplets, and 2 were bucks, 1 was a doe. After that, we had Sage. She was bred to Cuddles, and she ended up having 2 does. So Blackberry was bred to Cuddles as well, and she had 2 does as well. These little does are super cute. They're very flashy and black and white. There was a couple areas that I was hoping to improve, and so that's why I used Cuddles. One was the width between the hocks. I would like to see a little more width. Cuddles has very nice width between the hocks, so hopefully these daughters have that. Another was the rump. I would like to see more flatness from thurl to thurl. Cuddles has some very nice rumps in his genetics, so I'm hoping that we see an improvement in rump. The last area, and the reason why I bought Cuddles specifically, was I'm hoping to make improvements in the mammary system. Specifically with Blackberry, you see the teat size is a little too small. You see the teat placement is too close to the legs. I would like to bring the teats in more towards the center. I would like more definition to the medial suspensory ligament, which is the line that goes down the center of the udder and separates the 2 halves. I really don't like the look of a flat floor on the mammary system. There should be a small cleft there. Cuddles has some very impressive mammary systems in his line, so I'm really excited to see how these daughters turn out. Now, if you remember back to Licorice, so Licorice also had Cuddles babies. I didn't mention that before, but she had 2 does as well. So we had 3 does that were bred to Cuddles that only had doe babies. Chia had the triplets with the 1 doe, and then after Blackberry we had Hazel, and she ended up having 2 bucks and 2 does. So overall, we've been getting a lot of does from Mr. Cuddles, which I am very excited about. So anyway, back to Licorice. If you remember, her 1 little kid named Taffy has a face that looks very similar to this little doe's face. And that the face is mostly black, but then there's like a white blaze right kind of down the middle of the nose, and then white all around the mouth, and some pink lips, which I think are so cute, especially when they're kids. Now, I did tell my kids that they could name these goats. Our herd name is Willful Minis, so any goats that are bred by us and born here on our farm have our herd name. And so Willful Minis prefaces any name that's chosen. There is a limit to the length of the name, but it's pretty long, so usually there's room for whatever name that they choose. Our plan for these goats is to be shown And my kids play a really big part in that. At most of the shows, they are the ones doing a lot of the showing. And as they get older, they're also doing a lot of the prep work for showing. They're clipping the goats, they're getting the feet ready, they're cleaning them up. I think that they're learning a lot of good character skills by putting that work in, being disciplined, and, training and being patient with their animal in the show ring. So I think allowing them to choose the names kind of gets them invested in the kids. So this little doe that's in the back, she does not have the white frosted ears. William named her. He decided to name her Milky Way. And Blackberry is not really a candy name, but it was a really cute name, so we decided to go with Milky Way for her. You can see Miss Milky Way bouncing around with the other babies, having a good time in the spring grass, and this is her at a couple weeks old. Now her twin sister has frosted ears and nose, and we decided to stay with the pie theme, so this little doe is named Coconut Cream. And look at what a sweet little face. She looks a little bit grumpy, but still very, very cute. Really love the frosted nose and ears on these kids. I am so excited to see how they turn out. Thank you again for joining us. I hope that you have a great day.